Hello everybody and a very warm welcome to the channel. Today I will be doing a three-part mini-series on PMDG 737-800 Golden Dark to a successful landing. Please remember to like, comment and subscribe, and if you have any tips and tricks, please feel free to put them in the comment section below. Without any further delay, let's jump in the cockpit and get started. As you can see, we're in the cockpit here and there's no power established to the aircraft, either overhead or down below on the radio. So the first thing we need to do is establish power to the aircraft. The way that we do this is by flicking on the battery, arming the emergency lights and turning on the ground power as we've got ground power available. Now that's established power to the aircraft. Put on your hydraulic pumps 1 and 2, and we must now arm the navigational systems. So click the switches to nav and the IRS display to heading. Now, as you can see, the align buttons are actually flashing. If we go back to the captain seat, you can see now power has been established back to the aircraft. The PFD displays are all armed. The multifunction display is also armed also. Back to the overhead panel. Switch on your window heats and 4 green lights should appear. Voice recorder on. Set your yaw damper, and all you're doing now is making sure that everything's closed and guarded. So flight controls closed and guarded, spoilers closed and guarded, alternative flaps guarded. Navigational systems all set to normal. Source to auto and control panel to normal. Engine valves and spar valves all illuminated. Put on 1 fuel pump, check the crossfeed. Click over to the right, you go bright then dull. Click over to the left, then show bright, then off. Your battery should be closed and guarded, and also on BAT and also on ground power. Standby power closed and guarded. Push transfer should be off at this present moment in time. Circuit breakers, these are your lights so you can illuminate your flight panel. Engine cooling equipment should be on normal. Emergency alarm light should be guarded and your chime should be on. Press attend. Don't arm the seatbelts at present because we're still refueling. Left and right wiper should be in park. Window heats should be on, but not the probe heats at this stage. Anti-ice, wing and engine should be off. Cockpit voice recorder, press for 5 seconds and wait till the green light appears. Turn off. Pressurization of the cabin should be at 0. Engine start should be off. Come up to the flight recorder, open the guard, turn off, flick the switch back down, mark airspeed warning test, 1 and 2. Then go to the stall warning test, press 1, press 2. Trim air should be on. Left and right circulation fans should be on auto. Left and right pack should be off and isolation valve to open. APU bleed 1 and 2 should be on, but the APU bleed center should be off. Pressurization panel should be left at this stage because we need to set that later on. And all your lights, landing lights, taxi lights, and all these lights should be also on. So what we need to do now is set the navigational systems till the aircraft where we are located on the ground. So down to the FMC. As you can see here, it says enter IRS position. So if we go to FMC, now we have to put the coordinates where we actually are located onto the ground. So go to POS init, put the reference code of the airport, which is Echo Golf Charlie Charlie, which is Manchester Airport. I'm at gate number 53. Click next page and put in this coordinate here. Then go to previous page and enter into the FMC. What we need to do now is input the flight plan that we've generated on SimBrief. As you can see, it self-populates with the airport that we're currently at. In this case, Echo Golf Charlie Charlie, which is Manchester. So we put in the origin, then the destination airport, in this case Brussels. So it's Echo Bravo Bravo Romeo. From the destination, our flight number today is Ryanair 261. And the runway we're departing from is runway 23 right. Click on departure and arrival. Click on departure. Already selected runway 23 right, so just select it again and it'll go up at the top. What we're looking for on this side is the Samba 1 Romeo departure. Select that. Click back onto route. It will come up with an activation button here. Don't press that at this stage because we still need to input the rest of the flight plan. So click on next page and you can see there Samba 1 Romeo departure going to Samba. If you scroll down on the flight plan, you can see there the actual flight plan that we will be flying to today. Now the numbers that are prefixed by a letter are your airways, your transitions into the VORs, which are just the letters. So in this case, Honolulu, Big, and Vapik, and KOK. So the numbers prefixed by a letter go down on this side, the left hand side, and the VORs go down on the right hand side. The first one will be Uniform November 859, put down on that side, and on the right hand side we need to put in HON. And you do that all the way through the flight plan. I'll just fast forward, put these into the FMC, then I'll show you the next stage. It's now being completed, as you can see from the flight plan. So the next stage is to go to departure arrival again and put in our arrival to the destination airport. Click on arrival, click on next page, and we're looking for the Kilo Oscar Kilo 7 Alpha arrival, and we're landing on runway 25 right. Just click on next page and it's there, the ILS Zulu 25 right. Click on that. Now it's asking for a transition. So if we bring up the navigational charts, as you can see, after the Kilo Oscar Kilo, we're going down to a straight line down to Kirky. So that's all we need to put into the FMC and select Kirky. So all we have to do now is put in the amount of fuel that we require and the 0 fuel weight into the FMC. So click on menu, go to FS Actions and click on the fuel tab. Let's just get the flight plan up. So as you can see from the flight plan, the amount of block fuel required is 6,034 kilograms. So you just round that up to the nearest 100. In this case, 6,100 kilograms. And click on return, go to payload, and the amount of 0 fuel weight that we require is 60.6, which I've highlighted on the flight plan. 60.6, and click on the tab here. So that tells us we have 165 passengers, forward cargo is 1837, and also the after cargo is also 229. Click return, return again, FMC, and this is the performance initiation page. So we start from the bottom upwards. So the cost index, which I've highlighted, is 60. The reserves are 2.4. And if you double click select here, it will show you the zero fuel weight of 60.6. The cruise altitude is flight level 290, and the cruise winds, which I've highlighted, is 206 42. So let's bring up the navigational charts again. You can see there's a transition altitude of 5,000 feet. In the FMC, and select it in the transition altitude. Execute that. Then another tab, which is N1 limit. Because the PMDG doesn't have a universal flight tablet, just leave this on default until the performance calculation figures we can generate. Click on takeoff. We usually set off with a flaps 5 landing. Double click the tab here, and it will automatically give you the center of gravity and also the trim level. Now, before we forget to set the trim level, let's go down to the trim wheel. These are the trim wheels here. So we need to get the needle just in between the 5 and the 6. So if we just click down on the trim wheel until we reach the required trim takeoff. Round about there. So the next thing we have to do is just check the fire systems. So if we go over to test, should be a fault and APU detection in up. That will go back into the center, and then click over to the right, and you should see on the displays up here that fire has been detected. Back down to check the squibs. This side, click to the left, 3 green lights, and turn to the right, 3 green lights. Then go to the cargo test, keep your finger pressed, check on the displays, and you can see fire warning has also been detected. Turn off the master caution, back down to the FMC. Now all we have to do is put in the takeoff speeds. In this case, 137, 39 and 149. VR is for rejected takeoff, and V2 is the speed that you pull back on the yoke to obtain takeoff. And that's it for the flight plan. What we can do now is turn on the APU. So back to the overhead panel, turn on the first fuel pump, come down to the APU, click to on, wait 3 seconds, and click start. The APU is armed, a blue light should appear. Select the 2 center switches to on. Turn on your fuel pumps. The light should extinguish. Turn on the APU bleed. Go and set the parking brake. Now it's always handy to have a pen and paper ready because you need to put this speed into the multifunction display. Get the charts back up. As you can see, this is where we are located. The runway is runway 23 right, and just underneath that you've got the runway heading, which in this case is 232. So come over to heading, put in 232. Set the auto brakes to RTO for rejected takeoff. That should be amber, then go off. And the auto throttle. Set the current QNH 1003, or by simply pressing B on your keyboard. Get rid of the master caution. Back down to the FMC. Click on route. Activate, then execute. Set your squawk code to 2000. Change the transponder to XPNDR. We are now ready for pushback. Go back to the overhead panel. Set your position strobe lights to steady and your anti-collision light to on. Because we're fueled, we can arm the seatbelt signs. Now we can request pushback and engine start. First things first, we need to go down to the FMC again. Click on menu, FS actions.
We are ready for pushback.
Click on ground services and release the wheel chocks. Release the parking brakes.
Commencing push. All engines are clear. Start at will.
Let's start the engines. Go to the overhead panel. Make sure the APU bleed is down. And press ground. What we're waiting for is this joint 25%. And once that reaches 25%, we arm this switch. Then the engines should start spooling up. Then that should disengage, and then you can go to number 1. Again, waiting the N2 to reach 25%.
Please set parking brakes. Waiting your confirmation for a good engine
There you go,
start.
25%. Now that's disengaged. So what we need to do is set these to continuous. Go to the overhead panel. Set our altitude to flight level 290 so that the cabin can be pressurized properly. Turn off generator 1 and generator 2. Then turn off the APU and the probe heats and tell the ground staff that we've got a good engine start.
Cockpit to ground. We have a good engine start. You can disconnect.
Unlocking the nose gear.
Set the flaps to 5.
Disconnected. Bypass pin removed. Left is clear. Right is clear.
You can see the flaps engage. Then we're just waiting for the ground control to wave us off to say that everything is okay. And that's it. We are ready to taxi.
I hope you found it informative and easy to follow.
Join me in the next tutorial for taxi, takeoff and the cruise level. Remember to like, comment and subscribe. And if you have any tips and tricks, please feel free to put them in the comments below. Until the next tutorial, take care. Bye bye for now.